in my younger days, when you saw somebody coming down the street, you could tell where the sari they were wearing or the clothes they were wearing came from. They were all so different. Each region had its own identity. But that started going with mill-spun yarn. All the handloom weavers in India now use mill-spun yarn, except for the very small percentage that weaves khadi in 1989. We were lucky we found this small group of independent weavers in a remote part of Andhra Pradesh who were not part of the master weaver system, who until recently had still woven for local customers, because they still kept their independence of mind. So we were able to start work with them. And as we got deeper into the whole business of cotton textiles, we realized that yarn is a very critical factor. And we found that the technology for making cotton textiles had changed with the East India Company introducing Industrial Revolution technology. The whole nature of cotton itself was changed to suit the machine. Those machines couldn't handle diversity. You needed one kind of cotton because all the machines were all one kind. So all the thousands of different varieties that were grown in India were lost. So today in khadi, even though women spin the yarn by hand, the pre-spinning is the same process as the mills, because there are a series of knives that sort of dig into the bale and loosen it up, and that damages the fibers. And it also, after the unbaling, it has to go through the blow room process, and all that is a very sort of violent process using a lot of force, and even the carding is then done with a lot of force. Our technical collaborators, one of whom is an engineer from the IIT in Madras, he developed this small-scale process, the small-scale carder. This machine that he developed uses the principles of buoyancy and aerodynamics, so the fiber isn't damaged. But we have now set up units in Kerala and in Karnataka, and 3 in Andhra Pradesh, and in the current project there are 3 more to come, 1 in Orissa and 2 more in Andhra Pradesh, and we have 1 working in Maharashtra as well. So we hope that in the long run farmers will be able to grow organic cotton, they will be able to use local seeds, because we think that the machine can be adjusted, the settings of the machines can be adjusted to use seeds of different, to use cotton of different fiber length and different fiber characteristics. So we'll get the diversity back. The cloth retains its elasticity, its absorbency, its color holding. So the garments don't lose their shape and they don't fade so quickly. It does shrink quite a bit, but in the old days, shrinkage used to be understood as a parameter of good quality cloth. Not in all the places we haven't established relationships with cotton farmers, but in 2 of the places where the units are running, the people who run the unit buy the cotton directly from the farmers, and the farmers are able to see that cotton being converted into cloth, near where they are. People who operate the unit are local boys from the village who we have trained, and they are from the same kind of background as the farmers are. And in the places where we've managed to find women spinners, they are from the same kind of background too. So it's a sort of democratic relation, whereas if the farmer has to sell to a spinning mill, he's a much smaller entity than the mill. The mill is much bigger than he is. So the mill is able to dictate the kind of cotton they need, and the farmer has to grow that. Malkha is the name which we've given the process and the cloth, and we've now formed a trust called the Decentralized Cotton Yarn Trust. Traditionally, Indian industry was made up of a lot of independent entities which didn't have central bureaucratic control, and our way of working fits into that. How I hope it will happen is that a lot of, whether it's farmers or whether it's weavers or whether it's people in the village who see this as an alternative occupation, will be able to set up these machines and make their own cloth. Eventually, of course, The ideal thing would be for it to reach the local market. But in today's conditions, where it has to compete with cloth made in on the power loom, which is so heavily subsidized in different ways, that would be difficult right now.